Let's see. We are not live. Is that true? I think we are. Right. Let me know. Let me know. I think we are good.
You think we're good? Are we good or aren't we good?
It's like the Joe Rogan.
It's like the Giants. We got computer folks who don't know what they're doing.
It's like the Joe Rogan podcast.
It's quite the same.
It's like, are we on? Oh, hi everyone. I hear you. You hear me. Does everyone hear us?
That's all that matters.
Hold on. Let me get the second earpiece going in. Yep, we are good. We are good to go. People are jumping in the chat as we speak. No one's saying anything.
Yeah, somebody. Nick.
There we go.
Nick DiBernardo says, "Hey, paisans."
Oh.
I don't know if he knows we're both Italian, but he got lucky because he can get away with it because we are.
He did.
I think. All right, cool. Thanks, Nick.
So,
appreciate it. What up, buddy?
Let's see. I jumped and threw my shirt off because I realized I was wearing the same hoodie as yesterday, and I don't want anyone calling me a dirtbag, so I threw it on the side of the couch. I'm used to being behind the scenes, not so upfront. But what's going on?
You look good.
Thank you.
You look good in the front. I'm a little sick. I don't know if this is coming in loud and clear.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Stanley, we are watching the combine. I got the combine on right now. That's kind of the news, right? We said we'd reconvene.
Yep.
Next time the combine was on, watching some 40 times. It's interesting, man. Watch my boy Jerry Jeudy run
love him.
I don't know, fairly unimpressive. 4 high 4.4s, low 4.5s. I don't think he helped himself. I don't think CeeDee Lamb and he and Rigger and some of these other guys helped themselves. Everyone's talking about Justin Jefferson. He ran a 4.44, which I guess people said he's a great receiver, great numbers, but they weren't sure about his combine.
Mm-hmm.
So when he runs a really fast 40, although it's amazing, by the way, when someone runs a 4.44 and everyone on Twitter is going crazy, it just reminds me of what Saquon did in the freaking combine, man.
He was 4.4 also, right?
4.4 flat, not a 4.44. So Saquon ran a 4.4 flat, had I think a 39 or a 40-inch vertical. He benched in the high 20s. And his 10-yard split, I'll never forget. He had a better bench test than Gronk and Joe Thomas. He had a faster 40 than OBJ.
Mm-hmm.
He had a higher vertical than Julio Jones and
Mm-hmm.
a faster 10-yard split than Deshaun Jackson. I mean, I'm watching these guys come across at 4.5 and 4.45 and 4.43, and they look so fast and they're taller and thinner. And then there's like stocky looking Saquon with those big ass legs, and he's coming in at 4.4 flat. It's amazing. You forget what an athlete the guy is because he was so banged up last year. But it's interesting watching the combine. I like it because my least favorite thing about football is just all the crap, after every play, who's faking an injury, who's talking trash, who's pounding their chest, who's dancing something, who's yelling at a coach. The combine's cool, man. It's all very militant. These guys are in like career is important mode. These guys are in make money mode. They're in like I have to prove myself mode. It's like you watch the combine, it's very quiet. It's very like everyone's in their own zone. It's just like it's just a kind of a cool, it's like a factory, man. It just keeps moving and moving. It's interesting, man. What about you?
I am not a combine guy. I watch, I respect that they're athletic. Sometimes, it just doesn't come across as a football player. Like they're running the 40s are great, but like maybe running with pads on.
Yeah.
But no, the bench press is impressive. The measurables are cool to see and gives us something to talk about. So I'm down with that.
Creative player on Madden. These guys talking about Stanley. It's true. That's what Saquon basically is. He's like the guy that you create in Madden.
Yeah.
And you're like, it's kind of cheating because I know I really shouldn't have this many points to put in all the categories: speed, agility, strength, quickness. But it's true. John Ross, right? Yeah, I mean, if you look at the guys that ran the fastest 40s ever, they're basically no-name guys, right? And someone like Jerry Rice, supposedly back way before lasers were timing it, ran like a 4.6 or something. But some of the stuff's ridiculous. I think some of it is, these quarterbacks have three chances to throw a deep ball, and people analyze, oh, he threw that one too deep. This one wasn't deep enough. Like, I was an athlete. I've been to tryouts for all-star games and different things, and sometimes you just a bad day, or you slip, or you have a good day, or it's so funny in the recruiting process how one or two things stick in your mind, right? I know it's different. I played football, I played lacrosse, and I never really talk about my own athletic stuff. And any of my friends watching, I apologize for this, but just to talk about the tryout kind of scenario, right? I in high school, we were, my team, we were the number one ranked high school lacrosse team in the country. I was an All-American. I was being recruited. And it's just funny how some teams that came to see you on some days, depending on how your day went, determine how hard they came after you. You know what I mean? And it's so funny because there's so much more to a player than one single moment, but those are the moments that stand out. I remember I had like this amazing play at this one tryout. It was the last play of the tryout for these things called the Empire Games, and I stole the ball. I ran up the field. I scored a goal. It was this crazy thing, and something I didn't do that often. And a certain school happened to be there, and that certain school happened to make me more offers than any other school and was all over me. And it's like, it's no coincidence that they happen to see that one play, right? So that stuff, one moment in a tryout, one great drill that you have, it can make a difference because coaches, and they're just human, you know what I mean? But I agree in large part, you can understand someone's explosiveness and speed and things like that in these drills, but it's definitely not a direct correlation to how your NFL career is going to go. A lot of it. A lot of stuff goes into it.
I do like when players like surprise you, when you get Evan Ingram, who's like way faster than everyone expected, and he like blew the combine out with his speed, and you're like, whoa, no, I didn't see that from him.
Yeah. Wait, who was that?
Evan Ingram. Like he was, I think, on par with like Saquon and Beckham with his 40 time as well. Like, if I'm not mistaken, like usually you hear the stories on like the back end when it's already done and they're already playing. Be like, and at the combine, he came out of nowhere and did 2,000 reps or some craziness.
Right. Yeah. I mean, Ingram, I think, ran the fastest, but I mean, it's kind of, he ran the fastest time ever for a tight end in the 40. But the line between tight end and receiver is becoming so blurred that, he could easily have put a wide receiver, he could easily have just said he's a wide receiver and it would have been still impressive, but not as impressive. But but some guys you can tell what they're about. Like they're doing the drill right now on TV. If anybody's watching the down the line drill, where the receivers just run straight down the line and they catch from here, they catch from here, they catch from here, they catch from here. And the best one I ever saw was Odell Beckham. And it translates.
Yeah, it was like
great. Exactly. And he's great at those underneath pass. Like you could really see that. There's some guy out here now I never even heard of before. Last name Brown. Short little guy, super fast. He ran like the best routes. He was the smoothest guy in that drill that we were just talking about. And so I texted my boy. I'm like, yo, never heard of this guy, but maybe in like the 6th round, there's somebody you try to pick up. It could be like a Victor Cruz kind of guy for you. Where'd he come from? So I do think you can help and hurt yourself in the combine, though, as evidenced by guys like why isn't Joe Burrow throwing? Why isn't Chase Young doing the combine, right? Because let's say Chase Young runs a 4.85 40, and he was projected to run a 4.6. You never know. And then some other DN, Epinesa or one of these other guys or Aquara runs a really, really fast time or does better. And maybe the 40 is not the best one for a DN or an edge guy, but maybe these 3 cone drills, maybe he's not that fast. If Burrow happens to overthrow and underthrow a bunch of guys and incomplete things, is it possible he could drop? I don't know. So, OBJ did it in one motion, right? One of the comments here, it's true. What else are we talking about up here?
I'm thinking Thomas Ryan is saying that Brown is from UMass, possibly.
Yes. Chase Young runs a 4.85. He's not going to get drafted. You know what I'm saying, though? First of all, you can risk an injury, but there are guys, okay, for example, maybe not Chase Young, but a guy like Ja'Kai Polite from last year from Florida, not Florida State, from Florida, edge defender, highlight tape looked great. Numbers were strong, pretty good stature. He came in on some people's boards as a top 5 edge rusher. People were talking about him at one point being a first-round pick. Comes into the combine, runs up piss poor 40, has awful interviews, gets drafted in the 3rd round, I believe, by the Jets, gets cut a month into training camp, gets picked up by 2 more teams' practice squads, maybe the Eagles and the Seahawks, something like that. And now he's like a reserve. And that all happened because essentially of it all started with a bad combine. You know what I mean? It really can happen like that. And there are other guys like Rashawn Gary who put up basically no numbers in college. He was, decent, but he came into the combine and he jumped over buildings and he was faster than this. He was all Superman. And so, I forget where he went. The Packers, I think, took him. But he went higher. It might not have been the Packers. I got to look into that. But he went higher than he should have based on his production. So those top end guys like the Chase Youngs, maybe Joe Burrow, it doesn't matter. But you can make or break yourself,
Look at DJ Metcalf last year.
DK, yeah.
Killing the combine, except when he had to do anything that involved turning. Like, everyone's like, well, if he's going to run straight, but he proved everyone wrong in his first year.
I had him going 9th overall in the draft. And he went, what, 3rd, 4th round?
3rd round, yeah.
So Clowney, we got to talk Clowney. Everybody's talking Clowney. The Giants are supposedly going after Clowney. Jadeveon Clowney, one of the freakiest, defensive players to come out in a long time. Similar hype to a Chase Young, even though a different position. I think coming out of college, he was more of more interior. I forget exactly if he was 3-4, 4-3, but he I don't know. What are you thinking on this? Because the first thing everybody's thinking, according to me, including myself, is injuries.
I think he's looking for payday and just chill. I don't see the fire there. You don't see the fire there? No, I think he's a good player. I just don't think the Giants are going to wind up giving him 25, 26. You just don't want him overpaying. I mean, they cut Ogletree, right? Yeah, gone. But we saw that coming. I thought they were going to cut Rhett Ellison, but apparently he's thinking about retiring. Which is another. Can he take Gettleman with him? Get a nice little timeshare somewhere. Hang out, chill. Maybe go to the Cape Cod. No one's a Clowney fan up here. Always banged up. Yannick is better. Yeah, Yannick is. But Yannick's probably not going to come out, right? That's kind of what they're saying. He's going to get tagged. Yeah. I think from what I remember, though, I'm going to look it up right now. Clowney's numbers are very good, and he's banged up, and I remember being like, "What is this guy played in half of his games?" But I don't think he's as banged up as people think of him, and I think he's younger than people think too. Isn't he only like 27? I think 6, 7. But you always think that he's banged up, or look, he'd be by far the best player on the Giants' defense when he's on the field, except maybe Dexter Lawrence, depending on what happens there. Let me see Clowney's history here. There we go. iPhone, free plug. There we go. Throw me an iPhone. Hook it up. Yeah. Tom LIU, I like Clowney, but not for too much money. What would you consider too much money? $7. Let's see here. Let's see. Clowney is a no-no from Danny. But listen to this, though, guys. In all reality, all right? I want everybody to listen up, okay? This is his games played. Mm-hmm. Okay? In the last, really his whole career. His first year, he played in 4 games. All right? Just hear me out, Tom and Stanley and all these guys, right? First year, he played in 4 games. Mm-hmm. Second year, 13, which that means he missed 3 games. Given the Giants' defense, that would be like the Iron Man of the Giants' defense, okay? We had guys missing a lot more than that. He played in 13 games.
14 games, 16 games, 15 games, and 13 games. So he hasn't missed more than 3 games a year in his entire career in the last 5 years, except going, besides his rookie year. So that is banged up, and you might say, yeah, but the games that he played, but he might not have been like full, but I don't think he's as injury plagued as people think when you're playing, and it's kind of par for the course now. If you said to someone, I'm going to give you a really, really good player who's going to play 13 out of 16 games for you for the next 3 or 4 years, you take it, wouldn't you? I mean, that's healthier than Tuck and OC and JPP and pretty much anyone of this generation on the Giants.
Maybe because we knew he wanted to get out of Houston, finagled his way to get to Seattle, still looking for the big payday, the whole franchise tag, that whole thing. So he wants a huge contract, and I personally, I don't blame anyone for trying to get the money that they can, but I don't know if he's right for the Giants.
All right, so Will Presti would be the best defensive on the Giants D. I appreciate that. I don't think that's true. I'd probably be like maybe top 3, but the best is a little bit of a reach.
There are some talented guys on there.
Some talented guys. Danny says, isn't he coming off surgery when the season ended? Now, Marco, is that true? Is he coming off surgery?
I believe so.
Now, what kind, if so? Is it an upper body or is it lower body? Is it his leg? Danny, what kind of surgery are we talking about here? So focused on the Giants. I really wasn't even thinking, what has he got?
He was banged up in his last week.
Hold up. Was the Michigan hit? What's the one where he took the kid's helmet off? Because I do say that was he jumped like 10 picks because he took that kid's helmet off. You remember the Clowney play I'm talking about, Marco?
Yeah, that was where he jumped over the guy for the sack.
No, Clowney is famous for one play. It's one of the most famous plays in college football in the last 10 years on the defensive side. He just breaks through the line. A dude has the ball, and he just crushes him. The kid's helmet comes off. I forget if he fumbled and he picked it up or something, but that was the biggest highlight of the entire year. That I never heard of Clowney before that, and after that, it's all you heard about. So if that's the hit that Chris is talking about, if that was against Michigan, yeah, plays like that can stick in people's minds, like I just talked about before with the recruiting process. But
sports hernia?
Sports hernia is legit. Let's not say one-hit wonder. Okay, the guy's been a pretty damn good player. Let's quit it with one-hit wonder. But what do you guys think, though, realistically? Yeah. About the idea that he hasn't maybe missed as many games as you think. That he's missed 1, 2, 6 games in the last 4 years.
Yeah, it was a hernia. Seahawks Jadeveon Clowney expects to undergo surgery for core injury.
Yeah, that sucks. The core injury is scary. There are other guys that I would rather them get. As I say every week, 7 of the top 18, I think, top-ranked free agent prospects are edge defenders under the age of 27. So maybe forget the guy that's injury-plagued and we're going to have to overpay for. It also depends what we do in the draft. And you want to know something, Marco?
Mm-hmm. Tell me something new.
This isn't new, but it's like a little revelation I had today. I was like, damn it. If Tua doesn't get hurt, the Giants actually had a shot at Chase Young, man. If Tua didn't get hurt, they have a shot at Chase Young because Joe Burrow and Tua would go number 1 and 2. They would. They'd go 1 and 2. They were neck and neck. Tua could even end up going number 1, depending on what happened. And then you'd have teams vying for that number 3 to get that quarterback, trying to get up ahead of Miami, whether it's Miami who wants to trade up or whatever. Like, I think the Giants would have had like a 30 to 40% chance to land Chase Young if Tua was healthy. As it is now, I don't even know if Tua's going top 3. I don't even know if he's going top. I don't know. Because ask yourself this question. Everyone I've talked to so far, they say Tua's going to go top 5. And then I say, would you take him? And they go, no.
No.
So someone has to take him.
Yeah.
People out there, write into us. Where do you think Tua is going to get drafted? Give us a right. Tua. Tua.
Oh, now I have coronavirus? I have a coronavirus.
I don't have coronavirus. I have a virus, and I'm having a corona. It's different.
Totally different.
But no, I want to see what you guys think about where you think Tua is actually going to get drafted, because I'm not. I guess it depends what teams, but like in general, I don't know. Top 3 pick. All right, I don't know, man.
Top 3 lock. John May putting it all out there.
People are talking about Clowney. You don't want a guy who's injured, and you got a guy who in college who hardly gets touched out there with a great offensive line, and he's had what, 2 ankle surgeries and a hip.
Yeah.
A Bo Jackson hip, 2nd pick overall. Is that what you're saying, Tim? Or 2nd round? What are you saying? You're saying that the Redskins are going to trade the pick? Be a little more specific here.
So, here we go. Now I got to wash my hands now.
Dude, it doesn't go through.
I hear about computers getting viruses all the time.
Yeah, very funny.
Depends what site you go on.
Ear infection.
So,
depends what site you go on. Yeah. Dolphins trade up to where? To 3, to 2. You guys are they're giving us half answers. So, Redskins take them. Wow.
So this is what I saw today, that old regime, when they were going through the playbook with Dwayne Haskins, they got him like, it was going so poorly, they thought he was dyslexic. Like he had no grasp of what was going on.
Who is this?
Dwayne Haskins.
In the meetings?
Yeah.
In the combine interview?
No, after they drafted him, they were like,
"Oh yeah." Yeah, I gotta give you a shout out real quick, because my boy Jack, was writing to us all night the other night, and we didn't get to him at all. So he just wrote his first comment. He's a very knowledgeable guy. I'm trying to figure out how to scroll here. Can I scroll? I'm not.
Yeah. Jack. Yeah. Oh, I see him.
So he said, what? D end is different. Edge rushers different than quarterbacks when it comes to injuries. In what way? A quarterback, is they more fragile or less fragile? Are you saying that it's a bigger deal if he's a quarterback and he's hurt, or quarterbacks can play after injuries because they don't need to be so quick and stuff like that? I'm not sure what you're saying, because in today's NFL, you do. I'm not exactly sure what that comment meant. New England's going to take Tua. Yeah, you want to talk Tom Brady a little bit? What's happening there?
Everyone needs to relax. He's not coming to the Giants.
No, he's not coming to the Giants. No.
That was like a throwaway team that they put in there. It's not happening, but people are, believing Tom has, is the next stepping stone for the Giants' greatness in his last 2 to 3 years. It's ridiculous.
Nah, people always love. I mean, everyone's always going to be a Giant, right? Belichick's going to be a Giant. Russell Wilson's going to be a Giant. Tom Brady's going to be a Giant. It's just not happening.
I believe 2 out of the 3 you just said. I was like, yeah, Belichick's going to be a Giant, of course.
That one makes the most sense, actually.
Russell Wilson, I was hooked the whole way. I was like, yes, get me some Russell Wilson.
Jack says QBs are so protected now that the injuries aren't as big of a deal, but these guys run around, man. They're going to take hits, and I don't know any college quarterback who's been as banged up as Tua that's gone in the first round. I mean, it's crazy, to be honest.
He already has the injury history in college.
Yeah.
Now you're putting him in with guys who are bigger, faster, more explosive. I wouldn't do it. I see teams would probably be worth the risk. Like Miami to come up, maybe. What's going on? Honestly, the Brady piece has to fall in line. Where's he's going to go is going to send the cascade throughout the whole league. What are the Patriots going to do?
What does Chris say? Chris says, "Where's Tua going here?" I can't scroll. I don't know why. You got to scroll up to what Chris said about where Tua's the best prospect since Luck. Yeah, but the injuries, man. I'm telling you, it's going to be interesting. Again, would you take Tua? Would you take Tua? Would you? I don't know. I mean, it's going to depend how he looks. It is a little pro day and everything, but
Chris said wherever New England picks, so he thinks Tua is going to drop all the way down.
Well, maybe not drop all the way down, because that's the other thing you got to consider, right? New England, right now, you've seen the value of a quarterback. Then again, they got Tom Brady in this. You wonder what New England's thinking. Do they think if we're going to start over, we got to get the best quarterback? Let's get Burrow, let's get Tua, or if they believe in someone like Herbert, or do they kind of go, well, we got Brady, and he wasn't great in college, and he doesn't have like amazing skills, and we kind of just put him in the system, and he had those intangibles, and look what we got, right?
Mm-hmm.
So do they just say, hey, you know what? I see something in Love. I see something in the dude from why can't I think of his damn name? The kid who was at Alabama behind Tua, Hurts. You know, maybe they see something in Fromm. Maybe they just see that maybe they're not going to be so high to jump. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But Tua had a better QBR than Burrow last year. No. I think
Rudy.
I think Daniel Jones had a better QBR than Aaron Rodgers this past year. QBR is an interesting little stat. What I want to ask you guys, Giants fans, is give me in one post here one player that you hope the Giants get in free agency, and then right under it, the one player you hope they get with the number 4 pick. That's what I'd like to see. And how would you answer that question, Marco?
One player in free agency, one player in
who do you want at number 4
in the draft?
Man,
Okudah.
Wow, Okudah Matata.
Get me
That's your boy.
Get locked.
That. Why you do that? I try to be a tough dad.
I've been convinced.
Look it up, kids. Will Smith.
Probably the past 2 weeks, I've been convincing myself that if he doesn't go to Detroit, the Giants should lock him up.
Byron Jones and Jedrick Wills. Wills is getting a lot of traction lately. I'm still an Andrew Thomas guy. Clowney, Jack Conklin
and Simmons.
Jack. Seeing Jack and Jake. Simmons. Yannick will be tagged. True. Everybody's mentioning at least one edge rusher, essentially. I'm glad nobody's hitting me with Simmons yet. Oh, there it is. With the number 4 pick, I would like Okudah or Simmons. Thomas, my boy, Andrew Thomas, thank you. You know, PFF just came out with all this Will stuff happening and all this Worth stuff happening. PFF just came out saying Andrew Thomas is their highest ranked offensive tackle. Dude's got it all. Suspect in pass blocking.
You don't see it?
I don't know. John May, have you watched film on that? Are you reading that? I'm not trying to be condescending. I'm genuinely asking. I don't know what the extent of that is. Judy, talk to this guy. Talk to your boy Stanley, who wants Jerry Judy at number 4. Wills has it all. Yeah, but was Wills not a right tackle?
I think
Jedrick Wills a right tackle because that transition can be tricky for some guys.
I think a majority of the top rated. I think a majority of the top rated tackles are right, with the exception of Thomas, who's a true left tackle.
Thomas just
there's one or two guys that have been floating left around, like what is it? Becton is the other mammoth. There's a few of them.
Wills is only a right tackle, so yeah, you never know what's happening with that transition. I don't know a ton about Wills. I know, like I've said, I've watched tape on Thomas and I've watched tape on Works. And as I told you, I like Thomas's attitude. I was not expecting it. He is aggressive. He likes contact. I'm just old school. I like those guys that in the trenches, they're going to fight. I don't know how strong he is. We'll see, because his arms look a little long and thin, right? Works is going to bench probably 48 times on the bench press. I'm hoping Thomas gets somewhere near over 35, maybe. I don't know. We'll see about his strength. Wirfs and Becton have both played in college. I'm guessing the person means left tackle. The person is my friend.
Both played both.
Yeah. Oh, have played both in college. Sorry, Jack. I don't have any film of Wirfs on the left side, but Tua was a lefty protecting the blind side. Wills, my boy Jack's all about Wills these days. I got to look a little bit. I got to look up. I got to do some more film work on Wills. Watch a couple of games of his. It's easy now on YouTube, kids. You go on there, you literally type Georgia offense versus whoever, and then you just watch every play with Andrew Thomas, and the whole thing takes like 12 minutes. Do that when you're like in the bathroom break, and work. Just hop into a stall and watch some film. So where are we at, man?
So my pick, I wanted Okuda.
Becton is untaped. I love that. He's like huge. There's not a lot of film on him. It makes it sound like he's Bigfoot or like the Loch Ness Monster. It's like, have you seen anyone have a Becton sighting lately? What is he, 6'8", 360 or something?
Yeah, he's a monster. So for free agency, I think I would go. He's gonna get tagged, but I would go Yannick.
Everyone's in love with Yannick, man.
Because he creates havoc and forces fumbles all the time. Havoc.
No, Yannick creates
havoc. It sounds good.
It doesn't sound too
turnovers.
It does no. Yannick creates
panic.
Thank you.
Havoc. I like havoc.
Havoc. I hate imperfect rhymes. I hate when I listen to a song and they say, get in line all the time. I'm like, no, the one's an N and one's an M. So it's Yannick creates panic. All right.
Let's see. The guy is getting a little hype. Is Becton.
You don't want Giants go Tom Brady would be the stupidest thing in the world. There's zero. We don't even have to talk about that. Why would they go for Tom Brady? First of all, Jones kind of outplayed Brady this year. He had more touchdowns per game. He had a higher completion percentage, and Jones is like this, and Brady's like this. It makes absolutely no sense to just halt Jones. Oh, you're a starter. Oh, wait, we're going to put you back on the bench for 2 years of mediocre quarterback play. It would be the stupidest thing in the world. So we shouldn't even entertain the idea of Brady going to the Giants. It makes no sense.
Oh, Tim, get the laptop situation fixed, and then you could come on and talk to me and try to convince me that Leonard Williams' stats are better than Yannick's, other than sacks. Sacks are pretty important.
But they play different positions, though. So the different positions are more are more liable to get sacks versus tackles versus run stops.
He's just trying to stir it up.
There is luck involved in sacks, but I do like a good sack number because look at
it shows completion of a play. Yeah,
it does. I'm not saying one guy had 12 1 year and one guy had 10 1 year, so the 12 guy is definitely better than the 10 guy. But remember, like Olivier Vernon, when the Giants got Olivier Vernon, what'd they say about him, right? He only had 1 sack last year in Miami, but he led the league in QB pressures. And how many sacks did he have as a Giant? Like 3. I mean, like, I'm exaggerating, but give me the guy that can finish. They're showing Jerry Jeudy route running on TV right now.
How does he look? Supposedly he's a polished route runner. Someone wants to take him at 4.
He's a great route runner, but he's a sick route runner, dude. I'm telling you, the guy's like an N1 mixtape out there. It's just he's like hot sauce and the professor built into one.
Crazy
he ran
handle.
He ran a
crazy handle.
He ran a 6'1", 193, 26 career touchdowns, 2-time first-team All-SEC. He won the Biletnikoff as a sophomore. He's just he's just a solid first-round receiver, man. But he ran, like I said, a high 4.4. Beckham doesn't always break away from guys, and he runs a 4.43, I think. So a guy running a high 4.4, it's like you don't want to be any slower than that.
CD Lamb will be the guy you want to look at.
Yeah, but Lamb didn't run a great 40 either. I know the 40 is not everything. It's just happened now, so it's on my mind.
Mm-hmm.
I'll still take Jeudy over Lamb. Who was I watching that was jacked, though? Was it Rigger? It wasn't Jeudy. And then Ruggs, they said, was going to break the record for the 40. I'm like, it's just when you think guys are super fast, a lot of that is to break that 40 record, that's going to be redonk. And Ruggs didn't really come close. He ran an unbelievable time, but it was like a 4.28. I think the record's 4.2.
Supposedly this is very deep for a receiver, and you're going to get a good guy past the 3rd round.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying it's the best receiver class.
It would be nice if we had a 3rd round pick, but we have to have Leonard Williams. So.
Oh my God, it's so bad, dude. This is me holding in a sneeze and thinking about Leonard Williams. God, it was perfectly timed. My sinuses knew when you were going to say Leonard Williams' name. I miss the old Giants pass rush. Do you think we'll sign Clowney? They're going to sign somebody. I feel you can't really say that because they're completely unpredictable, but they have money. They have no pass rush. I love how I'm saying they because I don't even feel like connected to the team anymore instead of we. Between the draft and free agency, I am willing to say the Giants within free agency and the first 2 rounds of the draft will bring in a pass rusher. I feel very confident in saying that.
Mm-hmm.
We still have a third, says Tim Merritt. Explain that to me, Marco.
I don't believe unless
they haven't the compensatory.
They haven't officially announced the comp picks yet.
But even the comp pick isn't a real third. It really goes into the 4th. It's after 32 picks happen in the 3rd round already. Oh, thank you so much there, Mark. Appreciate it. So wide receiver wise, dude, who crushed it today? Was it Chase Claypool?
Claypool. See, that's a name I'm going to be hitting up YouTube. Where's he from?
There's a guy. Oh, people are going to kill me for this. Was it Notre Dame? Was it Penn State? Jack, hit me up. Who's this dude? Let me see. Yeah, Claypool.
Les Claypool, American musician, him?
No. Dude ran a 4.43 and 6'5" guy from Notre Dame.
Chase Claypool.
He and his size and his speed in the combine, what he just did. Now he's between a tight end and a receiver, but people are thinking based on his 40, he'll be a receiver. Marco, you with me?
Yeah, I'm looking
his size and speed just now. One other player, I think they said in history, or they say in the last 10 years, but I think the measurements and all that stuff, the 40 has only been timed electronically for the last 10 years or so, has had that combination of size and speed. Who do you think it is at wide receiver?
I'm looking at the picture right now. Calvin Johnson.
Calvin Johnson, a man named Megatron. So there we go. Calvin Johnson metrics, exactly.
There we go.
Less Claypool. You're getting ripped on your wrong answer for Claypool. It was even the wrong answer. Primus. Excuse me, kids.
6'4". So Claypool 6'4" to Calvin Johnson 6'5", 238 for Claypool, 239 for Johnson.
But then again, what was DK Metcalf? I guess he didn't weigh that much. He was probably about 225.
4.42 to 4.40.
They're throwing deep balls right now with no one defending them. We need blockers. This is true. Tommy Ryan, who's your offensive tackle of choice? We got to bring in 2 linemen. Okay? We got to bring in a true number 1 receiver, but maybe not this year. Okay? Maybe not this year. It might not be that important. We're not going to win it all this year. We need a better wide receiver. We're not going to win it all this year. We're probably not even going to make the playoffs this year, right? If you're looking to get into the 7-8 win range, which I think we would all agree would be, a positive season, right? To start sniffing up on 8 wins. The Giants need 2 new offensive linemen, whether it's a center and a tackle, 2 tackles, whatever it is. They need to bring in 2 linemen on offense. And that's probably it for now in the offense, because you could probably wait on a receiver. The receivers are serviceable. They're kind of like average wide receiving core. Jones is there. You got Saquon there. They probably are going to need a new tight end because, what's his face? Ingram is, if the wind blows, the guy's going to lose a limb.
Fragile.
But for now in the rebuilding, I would say you need 2 offensive linemen, and then defensively, at least 1 pass rusher, at least 1 member of the secondary. But again, how are we, AJ Green? How are we feeling about the Giants secondary? Are we saying there's so much young talent that they've drafted in the past couple of years that are young, that are getting to know each other, that are playing different positions, Valentine and Love and this and that? They're still becoming a cohesive group.
It's going to work itself out.
Are we like they're young? There's a lot of them. We know there's talent. Some of them are high college draft picks. Let's just let it play out. And it's kind of going to be cool. Let's not panic and take Okudah with number 4 because maybe Baker turns out. Maybe Love is a really good safety. Maybe Valentine or Beal or one of these guys plays well, right? Or are we saying, no, they suck. They're never going to come around. Let's bring in another defensive back right away,
so
right?
I think the way the league is now, it's a passing league. It's a passing league, and quarterbacks are drilled into getting the ball out as quickly as possible. That's half the time pass rush can't even get there because the ball's already out. You need guys to lock it down. And you can never have enough You can never have enough corners. Okay, your third corner.
Would you stop talking like Edelman? You're gonna give me. I'm gonna throw up. You know I'm not feeling well.
Sorry. All right, that was the last Gettleman Boston joke.
But you don't think that there's a chance we should just go, hey, we're not winning it this year anyway. Let's see how they play out. As he says, let's see how the babies come along. Come along. Whatever the hell. I can't even do it. I don't want to do it. All I could do is the hop pock and a pock hop. I got that thing. You don't think we should just see how that plays out? Like, if I had to bring in two positions that I'm like, let's get it now, it's left tackle and it's edge rusher. Even the linebackers, I'm not even sure what we're going to do, right? They got Mayo, the white guy named Mayo, of course, right? It's funny. They used to have a black guy named Pepper Johnson. It's like very, food-oriented. And then who's the guy Connolly? What's he going to be? He kind of looked good. I'm not sure. Let's not talk about the Saquon contract. Okay, sounds good.
We won't. I don't. Oh, man.
Are these guys having conversations amongst themselves? Someone's asking Connor, how far do you think Thomas? What do you think? What are we here for? Ask us the questions. You and Connor can go talk somewhere else, okay?
I'll let it go. Let's see.
Connor Dotzler. Love you. It's all good. Around 10, absolutely. Absolutely. These guys, like I said, Jawan Taylor last year was the consensus number one offensive tackle. He went in the second round. You never know what people see. You never know with these guys. Thomas could go number 2 to the Redskins, or Thomas could go in the second round. Any of these guys, right?
Okay, cruising 26. Marco usually ignores us.
Yeah, I don't. So how about a shout? I actually read the comments. I'm here for you guys. He's there in the shadows. He doesn't want you to see his face.
No, it's hideous.
It's like he's doing one of those interrogations. Surprised he doesn't disguise his voice. I'm here in the limelight. All right, bringing Schobert from Cleveland. What's your Instagrams? My Instagram sucks. Just do my Twitter. It's @WillPresty. I had a little thing I put together here at one point where, let me see.
What did you put together?
My wish list for the off season, like a couple months ago, and I want to see how it fared so far. Let's see here. All right. I wanted Rivera or Riley to coach. No. I want Clowney or Yannick at edge. I don't think I realized Clowney was coming off of surgery. Coronavirus. I wanted Costanzo or Conklin at offensive tackle. And then I wanted to draft something like Andrew Thomas, Paulson Adebo, Joe Bacci Jr. at linebacker, Duvernay at wide receiver, Carlos Ruiz. These guys changed so much now. This is back in the day before the combine and everything. But bring in 2 offensive linemen, 1 in the draft, 1 in free agency. Bring in at least 1 edge in either one. Bring in a linebacker in either one, and bring in someone in the secondary in either one. Worry about receiver. You can get a pretty good receiver later in the draft. Ogletree and pass coverage. Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you. For offensive linemen, I think we need a center. I would value a center over, because Soldier's going to be at left tackle unless they pull the trigger at 4.
You want a center over a tackle?
I think Remmers was okay. They're not going, unless they go 4, they're not going to get a left tackle. But they do need a center. Jalapeno's been injured for the past 3 years.
What do you mean they're not going to get a left tackle? You don't think they can get a good left tackle at 36?
No.
They can get somebody decent at 30. They can get somebody as good as Solder and 10 years younger at 36.
But
Connor McGovern. Yeah.
You think they're going to get a Becton at 36 or something like that? You don't think other teams are going to value them at pretty high?
We just don't know. We don't know what teams need. Things you can never ever say. There are only a couple sure things. The only sure things in this draft.
Death and taxes?
Yeah. The only 2 sure things in this draft are that Joe Burrow and Chase Young are going in the top 5. That's it. Other than that, anything can happen with these guys, okay?
I think the top 5 tackles will be gone. by 36. Thank you, John May. You get commenter of the day.
Yes, for that comment that is in no way, none of us know what we're talking about. Yo, let's talk Zach Bond. My boy knows how to push my buttons, yo. Who here knows about Zach Bond?
Ooh.
23 reps. What's that? Yo, Zach Bond is legit. Edge, outside linebacker, defensive end, 4-3 guy. Go watch his tape. Wisconsin. He's the closest looking thing to Chase Young out there. He's more agile than Yuter Gross-Matos and AJ Epinesa. He's more physical than Clavon Chason, whatever his name is, from LSU.
He's climbing up the mock drafts now. People
hope it doesn't climb that high, man. I'd love him at 30. Dude, if the Giants could land their offensive tackle of this is my dream. The Giants, besides Chase Young, they land their offensive tackle of choice at 4.
Mm-hmm.
And they land Bond at 36. I will be so happy. And then just do 1 or 2 good things in free agency. Seriously, especially the frustration of last year, because I still want Josh Allen. I'm sorry, Daniel Jones. I'll never forgive that feeling I had of Josh Allen, the defensive end from Kentucky, who, by the way, in a rookie campaign had just as many sacks as Nick Bosa. And no one's talking about it as much because he doesn't open his mouth and he didn't go to the playoffs or whatever. But he was legit. He could end up being a real huge star. I still wish we could have gotten him. All right, it still hurts because I still think we could have gotten Jones
at 17
or 117. But in the 17th round. But that's my dream. Offensive lineman of choice at 4. Bond at 36. Allen may be the next Vaughn. This is true. Left tackles. Videos. What was that? I'm having trouble. Josh Allen. Did that happen? I don't know if that happened. Chris is throwing out some accusations. I'm not too sure.
Stanley Albert is going through my playbook.
Zach wants to reunite with Connolly. Oh, are those 2 Wisconsin guys? Well, not that they have a say where they go, but
yeah.
Last time the Giants drafted an offensive lineman in the first round was horrible. You're right, Billy. So they should never draft an offensive lineman in the first round again.
It wasn't horrible.
They should learn from their mistakes. Like, come on, you gotta go at. They talking about Eric Flowers.
No, wasn't Pugh before? Was the Pugh with Flowers?
Oh, either way, I guess the last 2 times.
I think it was Flowers.
No, I think it was Pugh. But either way, it ain't good. But who's gonna be the backup quarterback? Brady? Maybe. Are you guys in favor of a trade back for number 4? I think we're both in favor of a trade back 4, depending on what they get, because the Giants need so many pieces and they don't have a 3. I think Edelman 4 are hands.
I don't want them to go too far back though.
No.
If they're looking at 10, I would just stay. If it's 8, anything above 10, I think I would do. Because if you're trading
above 10, what?
Anything above any pick, your first pick has to still be within above 10.
Yeah.
Because considering if they trade back, most likely quarterbacks are going to go 1, 2, 3. So that pushes everyone else, all the other positions down.
But okay, so who are we talking about, right? We mentioned Miami and we mentioned Oakland. Oakland's got 12 and 19. Would you do 12, 19 and a 3rd round pick for the 4?
12, 19 in the 3rd round. I don't know. Miami has 4 number 1s, I believe, right? They have a slew.
No. They have 3.
3?
3 number 1s, yeah.
I don't know. It's all.
Flowers is the most recent. Just got on here. Give me a top 4 free agent pass rusher targets. Dude, you might know more about free agent pass rusher than me because I've been all over the draft. Well, I can give you my top 4 draft pass rushers. Free
Clowney.
Agent. Clowney and Yannick. Yannick can stay on the field.
Vernon.
And Vernon?
No one loves Olivier Vernon?
Olivier Vernon? Wait, I gotta just answer something here.
Shaq Barrett has to be up there, right? He had a monster year.
Yeah. He would have to be out there. He would have to be there. I mean, you got to look at age. You got to look at history. There's a lot of guys, man. 3-4 DNs out. Oh, 3-4 DN really wouldn't be it then. It would be 3-4 linebackers.
Don't sleep on Indy pulling KC and going all the way up to get Love.
I'm hearing some love about Claiborne from some of you guys. I wouldn't hate that.
So yeah,
nah, he's too old.
Seems like
a list here.
Seems like a majority of the comments are LA Chargers, Miami Dolphins, Indy. That's who everyone.
Van Noy, I wouldn't be mad at Van Noy. I mean, let's see. They play a 3-4, dude, so it's tough.
What's the over and under on Gettleman effing up this draft? We're talking percentages, like.
Well, how do you over under something like that? How many picks does he f up? How many picks do the Giants have? 8. The over under on f ups is 6.
Bring JPP
back.
Both are at the same time.
They're all overrated. John, who's all overrated? The edge prospects. People are hungry. People are hungry for, when you're hungry for edge rushers, you can overpay and overvalue.
6 F ups.
I need you to school our man Tim right here, who says there's 0 chance because he could draft. I want you to tell Marco. I want you to tell Tim my line when it comes to Gettleman drafting.
Tim, I think you're aware of it, Tim. So Gettleman can select great players. He just doesn't select the correct players.
That's pretty close to what I'm saying. I'm not even gonna say great. He picks good players, but he does not pick the right players. So he's got a loophole. So he picks good players, and by the end of it, you go, "Oh, he was good. Oh, this guy was good. Oh, he was good." Hey, you can't blame Gettleman, but the team sucks. All right, it's like a movie miracle. It's a movie miracle. It's not about having the best players. It's about having the right players. Okay. So
I was watching. Where was it? Oh, on the Giants YouTube channel. Going through, seeing what the videos they had.
Right.
And they had I think it was Bucky Brooks, and they were interviewing him, and they're like, "Oh, how do you think Gettleman's going to play it? Who do you think they're going to get?" And he's like, "I think the Giants at 4, they're going to go for the best defensive player on the board, and at that time, I think it's going to be defensive tackle Derek Brown." And I was like, I almost went like, "What?
Of course he will.
Why? Why is that even like? I can't. We can't have a team of only defensive tackles."
Rudy, we turned it down because we didn't want to have to stop doing the podcast. So that's why the Giants haven't. Is this guy is he really watching us do this and then razzing us? If you guys know so much, how come you're not the GM of the Giants? Yeah.
How do you know?
That's how you become. That's how you become the GM of the Giants, by the way. You have a knowledgeable podcast, and then they say, "Hey, would you like to be the GM of the Giants?" So I don't know why it hasn't happened yet at this point.
Out of all the people that we selected.
Yeah, my boy Connor, right? I know exactly what you're talking about. That's how I feel about Dexter Lawrence. I wanted Juwan Taylor. Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Dexter Lawrence is a very good football player.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. The Giants did not need an IDL. The only part of that Giants team that was actually decent was IDL, interior defensive line. You're going to take the guy at 17 instead of an offensive lineman, instead of the best remaining defensive end, instead of a skill position player. It's just, that's what I'm saying. But people will go, "Hey, he had one of the best rookie years there is. Gettleman picked a good player." Yeah, but now where are we?
Where's the block button for Tim? Where is the block button for Tim? Hold on.
Why? I'll see.
He did knowledgeable ? Exclamation point.
All right, that's great. Which hurts more, Josh Allen or
Tunsil? Tim is one of the other co-hosts that I do the show with all the time. Yeah.
Josh Allen still hurts. I dropped my phone. It was like Chaz Palminteri at the end of Usual Suspects. I was FaceTiming with my family. I'm like, "We just got you." When they said the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Devin White, "We just got Josh Allen. We just got Josh Allen." I'm opening the window yelling at strangers, "We just got Josh Allen." Shut up, right? I'm trying to rob somebody. I'm in New York City. And then they said Daniel Jones, and it still hurts a little bit. Thoughts on Giants going to Clowney? We hit on that already. I said Clowney has not been as injured as people think. He's missed something like 6 games in his last 4 years combined. He's young. He's got good numbers when he's out there, but he is coming off of what do we say, sports hernia or a core muscle, some kind of injury, and that's
injury, yeah.
Just don't overpay. You get him, that's fine. You see how it is, but don't overpay. And I don't trust him not overpay. So I'm not really a huge fan of that.
What do you think overpay is? How much?
Oh, I don't know enough. I don't know enough about that right now. I am so much into the draft right now, honestly, that I haven't been looking at contracts. I don't even know what the Giants cap is at this point. I know they just got some more room, so I don't even know.
They're at 70 right now. Give or take.
Another over 590. 5 years on him.
90.
That's so many years now, though. All right, so free agency starting up March 16th-ish or something like that.
Yeah, we went over the dates. I forgot them though. Knowledgeable question mark, Tim? Is that what you're gonna say?
So where you guys stand on I think we asked this already, but I kind of want to talk about this again on the number 4 pick. Or would you guys rather trade? Would you guys rather draft at 4? What's kind of your ideal? Give me your ideal yet realistic, like first 2 round scenario, right? Do you want? And we should talk Justin Herbert a little bit. People talking a lot about him, and I remember wanting him to be the quarterback of the Giants last year. I wanted to get him. He didn't come out of the draft, and I'm like, wow. If you think about it now, we could have had Josh Allen, defensive end from last year, and you could have Justin Herbert this year as a Giant. So, but what's your perfect scenario? What do you want? Do you want him to trade back? If so, with who, and to take what kind of player? And what do you want the first 2 rounds to be? Because we don't have a 3rd rounder, so let's just talk about it. For me, if they're not going to get Chase Young, I would just assume they go Andrew Thomas or their best available their best offensive tackle, their favorite offensive tackle at 4, and hope that Zach Bond is there at 36. What say you?
I think that they're going to. I think they stay put. Gettleman has shown that he has never traded down before. Now he's talking about this is a prime opportunity if the Giants do want to trade down.
Right.
But
what do you want? What's your ideal?
Okuda at 4.
And who at 36?
36, I would go with
what position, let's say, if you don't know all the guys back there.
I would look for an offensive lineman if they had a guy who was like stable to play left tackle rather than a convert who hasn't played. But you're also looking at pass rush at that point. But most likely, I think they're going to get pass rush in free agency. Having said all that, it's probably going to be from Clemson anyway.
My boy Chris, love you. Let's get to these before I can't scroll anymore. Simmons, Thomas, Wills, Young at 4. Thomas, Wills, Young at 4, obviously. Trade down to 6th or 7th, and that's it. Simmons, Austin Jackson. Austin Jackson's a guy who I think one game ruined this guy. This guy was getting mid-first round grades, and then he went up against A.J. Epinesa, and Epinesa destroyed him. And Epinesa's stock went up, and Austin Jackson's stock went down. And now I just can't get on the Austin Jackson train anymore after seeing him get destroyed.
Right. Here's another thing that all the Giants fans went crazy. From Stanley, right? From the way Judge talks about squeezing guys and potential, he sees guys like Simmons, right?
Absolutely. He just wants a bunch of athletes. Let's get Carl Lewis and the decathlon guys. Let's get Caitlyn Jenner up in here.
Then Simmons comes out today. They're asking him, what position do you play? He says, I play defense. Giants fans erupt. Yes.
So
a flexible guy that you could put in multiple positions.
It's so stupid. Hey, guys. Hey, we're the Giants. We need safety, corner, linebacker, and pass rusher, edge rusher. Well,
guess what I got?
Instead of getting 4 guys, let's get one who can do all 4. The Giants. It's just like, it doesn't work that way, dude. Guy's an athlete, yes. Guy makes ankle tackles, yes. Guy can blitz off the edge once in a while. He can stay with tight ends, absolutely. I just don't know about that at number 4, man. You can't bank on someone having those kind of skills and those kind of instincts in the NFL. He runs up and down. Guys get in on him. I don't know if he's going to get out physical, man. I know he's a physical specimen, but at linebacker, tall linebacker types. Remember, I'm not saying they're the same caliber athlete. Remember Matthias Kiwanuka? They moved him from defensive end. He was like a 6 foot 5, I want to say, linebacker. It's just too lanky back there, man. Aquara is good. I could potentially get him at 36. Belichick always praises creating systems for their players rather than the other way around. That's what Judge wants to do. I know Judge wants to do that, and they've all talked about that. The defensive coordinator talks about athletes. So, yes, it very much seems like they're going to take Isaiah Simmons. I just don't think he's a number 4 kind of guy. I think he's a mid-round kind of guy. He's still a linebacker, and they just have other needs.
Simmons comparable to Urlacher.
Yeah, I've heard that, but the game. Well, that's fair. That's fair. He's a better athlete. But I think Urlacher hit much better than Simmons. You look at a highlight tape of Simmons, and you can see some good pops, but for the most part, he's an ankle tackler, and I don't know if he's going to just have, guys are going to get in on him or not. X-Man, Carter, Simmons going to run a 4.3? No, I disagree with that.
When do they go?
I'm not sure when they go. I saw some other guys. Man, I wish I could scroll on here because some other people mentioned their wish list for. How are you scrolling? You got a bar?
Yeah, there's a little bar on the other side. You don't see it?
On the right?
On the right.
No, I don't see it. I have a touch screen, but it's not letting me touch. Thank you. Simmons is a jack of all trades, master of none. Yeah, he's a very good football player. He's a first-round football player. But I just prefer to have someone who's great at one position than good at 4 positions.
Do you guys like Jack Conklin? I wouldn't do it.
You wouldn't do it? Trade back a couple of spots, get an extra. Yeah, I wouldn't be mad if they traded back. They need the thing is they need so much, right? If you are a certain team and you say we are a left tackle away, or we are a quarterback away, or we are a 1 pass rusher away, then you want to draft as high as possible. The Giants are like 12 players away from being any semblance of decent. So, yeah, I mean, if you want to trade back, I'm not going to argue with that. I don't think they're going to. It was clocked at 4.31 unofficially. I mean, I'd be surprised. That's really fast. We'll see. And unofficially for a reason, but could be. I don't know. I haven't.
That's Simmons?
Run the 40. Yeah. Daniel Jones is good, but Josh Allen and Justin Herbert. Yeah, exactly what I said before, man. Now, we don't know. Let's talk about Herbert a little bit. I mean, has there ever been a guy who's
lost $10 to $15 million so easily?
No, it's like
he should have came out last year.
People want him to be so good, right? He's like the perfect quarterback for like 10 years ago, though. He measured in probably even taller than he wanted to. I think he came in at 6'6.5". I think was he a 6'5.5", 6? I think it was 6'6.5", which is almost too tall because they start thinking you don't have the quickness and stuff. He's got a huge arm. He's got a calm temperament, right? His body's fit. He's got impressive stature.
He's on the thinner side though, right, Herbert?
Yeah, but he's not thin. I mean, he's not skinny, dude.
He's not skinny, but he's
he's got the height and the arm. But then you look at, you kind of always leave his games wanting more. He'll have those couple of amazing passes and a run for some stuff, and you're like, wow, that's the guy we want. But I don't know if he's all that impressive. I don't know if he has the it factor, right? He's got everything going for him, but I don't know if he has the it factor. We'll have to see. I'm
trying to see what he measured in that.
I thought it was 6'6.5". Or was it 6'5.5"?
I know he
was 6'5.5". Yeah, I mean, that's true. He's at Oregon, right? He doesn't have a huge amount of talent around him, and he put up good numbers. But so many people, I think people want him to be good. I'm not even sure if he's the 3rd quarterback off the board, to be honest with you.
Congratulations. You've received 1,000 messages today. Look at that. 1,000 comments.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
All positive.
Yeah.
Exactly. No it factor. Yeah. It's interesting. He just doesn't have that swag. He doesn't have. I mean, some people, myself included, last year I said he's kind of like an Eli. He went back to Oregon because people said he wanted to be with his brother, and he's a family man, and this and that. And so I just don't know if he has that. He would have been that Dickey swag that you need as a quarterback, if you will. Do I like Kendall Jenner? She's okay. Kendall Fuller. Give me Judy and Ruggs. In what way, man? what way? I don't know. Receivers are tough. Ever since DK Metcalf went when he went last year, I just have no idea.
Both?
Looks like the hefty lefty. Get out of here. Oh, facially maybe. So anyway, free agency. Yo, guys out there, maybe this will be the last thing we'll do here is give me the one position that you most want the Giants to address, either in free agency or in the draft. If they could get one stud who turns out to be awesome at some position, what is the position for you? And Marco, I'll ask you that. If you could come out of this off season with a guy who's going to be a stud for them, what position do you want that at? Stanley says edge.
Defensive end, yeah, edge.
Not offensive tackle to protect. We scored Jones. Not a wide receiver who could be there for him all the time. Not a shutdown corner. Edge. Everyone's saying edge, edge, edge.
Scoring points wasn't the problem.
Well, it wasn't the answer either. I mean, they were okay at it, where they were about average. But I know what you're saying. Offensive tackle, draft, free agency, corner. See this guy, draft tackle, free agency, corner, safety. We need to get a QB. Rudy is just, he's a Cowboy fan, something like that.
Rudy is just slinging it today, huh?
No value at edge in draft or free agency. John, explain yourself.
QBDELTCB. Oh, man.
Sounds like some kind of rap group.
You don't know
linebacker? That? Interesting. Linebacker. Edge was not going to happen. Offensive tackle was more practical. Slayton will be a Pro Bowler. I like that. Offensive coach. Most people are saying edge. Some offensive tackle, some DB, linebacker. Most people are on the train about, on the defensive train. I've been dying for, Kyle Van Noy, yeah. I'm not mad at it. I don't know a ton about him. But, any edge that can come in to be productive because it's been a while.
Terrible coaching staff.
I think DN is interesting. I think DN is starting to become a little devalued because of how mobile quarterbacks are becoming. I want to say I disagree with that, but guys do escape the pocket, and then they are more accurate, some of them outside the pocket. So do you really want to be rushed out of the pocket? I still think a good pass rush just creates havoc, and it makes certain guys, maybe some of these guys, the Mahomeses, and maybe that statement will be true in 5 years, but for now,
Mahomes,
most quarterbacks don't want to see pressure. Drafting a GM, yeah. Great.
Can you do that?
Tackle will have a better option though. So people are kind of saying that they're not thinking that because we're not going to get Chase Young, there's really nothing out there. Chances of Simmons at 4, he'll definitely be there at 4, or 80% he'll be there at 4, 90% maybe. Chances they take him, I think he's in the top 3 of what the Giants would take if Chase Young's not there. I think their options that they would take in the top 3 would probably be like.
You think Detroit?
Like 30% Simmons, 30% edge, 30% tackle, and 20% secondary.
Let me ask you this: do you think the talent is out there that Washington and Detroit both don't trade down, giving us the most capital to trade down?
Yeah, I think Washington could take Chase Young, and I think Detroit needs defense, and they could take one of the top D tackles. There's a couple of them, or they could take Okudah. So there's enough talent out there, depending on what we want. Epinesa, but he's mid-first round. Yeah, the only problem with Epinesa is he's a 4-3 outside guy. We're playing a 3-4, even though they're going to switch it up a little bit. He doesn't really fit. It's just like having Leonard Williams or something like that. He's not going to play outside backer, and you don't need another inside guy. So even though he is a good player, I don't think he would fit on the Giants. We better not take Simmons over an offensive tackle. Can we please build in the trenches? It's true. For as much of a hog molly guy as Gettleman claims to be, he's taken like one offensive lineman anywhere in the top of the draft these past 2 years, right? Mm-hmm. That added up to 110%. I know it added up to 110%. Okay, Connor? I was doing it real quick. I said 30, 30, 30, 20, and I even added wide receivers after that. Okay, Connor.
Connor. Comment of the night right there.
That's why we're not we're not the GMs of the Giants. Because I go, listen.
Horrible with the books. How much
let's take Let's give this guy 30% of our payroll. This guy. Someone asked about Tyler, whatever his name is in the draft. The guy ran a really fast 40 time. Yeah, any wide receiver. I would be excited to get any one of these wide receivers in like a 4th round pick. I think that you could get production out of them. So that's kind of it, man. We got a good read for these guys, a good read of our fans here. So we're kind of hungry for the same thing. Offensive tackle, edge rusher is the consensus top 2 things. And people also want more help in the defense. They want Simmons, they want secondary, things like that.
Mm-hmm. Thought we were getting younger.
Though we were getting younger.
Oh, no T on there. There we go.
You need glasses. We're not getting any younger.
I do. Love the show. Great job. Thank you very much.
Now he comes around. I don't want to hear it.
But once Will, you have anything going on this week?
Some personal fun stuff happening, but nothing I want to share with the listeners or the viewers.
Really? You want me to hit the mute button?
This week, not much. I just interviewed Mark Messier recently. I interviewed Scott Stanford from WWE, Sukanya Krishnan, TV personality. You can check those out on my Twitter. Did some interviews with them. Any Ranger fans out there? I asked Messier what he thinks about the team, different things like that. Willie Randolph. So I got some cool athlete sports interviews going on. Other than that, I'm gonna enjoy the draft.
What does Messier think about the Rangers?
You're gonna have to tune in to find out.
Yeah, he should be pretty pumped. If I was him, I would be.
He talked about name drops, Mr. Big Time. Yeah, he talked about Panarin. He thinks some pretty interesting things about Panarin. I can never say his name right. A wideout who doesn't get confused if someone taps him. Okay, Gus, Jesus. Come on, man. Take it easy on Shep. I like Shep. But
name drops Mr. Big Time.
But yeah. I guess Saquon's actually here right now. I just told him to stay out of the picture. Saquon, stop doing squats.
Next week, Fred Robbins is going to be on, and a few of the beat writers are going to come on as well.
Oh, is that right? Who's coming on?
Ryan Dunleavy. I got to get a date with him. He's like, I wanted to get him tonight. He's like,
you got a date with him? Is he coming on the show too, or?
Yeah, he's gonna.
You want on a date with him?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to cam it. We usually do it through the phone, but it's pretty hot.
Sweat. I think that might have.
I said he's pretty hot.
Marco, who is James? I want them to trade.
What happened?
All right, one more question.
Last one.
I think we're all going to agree that Lawrence Taylor is the best defensive player in NFL history.
Mm-hmm.
But what I want to know is who's the second best defensive player in NFL history. And I think my answer is going to be much different than everybody else because everyone on here is probably really, really young, or I'm pretty young, but I have a knowledge of old school football because I saw PFF ask this the other day. And I go on my Twitter, I put up a top 10 list.
Mm-hmm.
Top 10 list of my top 10 defensive players of all time. Lawrence Taylor is number 1. Who do you have as number 1? Lawrence Taylor?
Yeah. Number 2.
Who do you have as number 2? Defensive players all time.
Reggie White.
Pretty good. Don't have to ask me like you're running it by me. That's cool.
Is that your top 10? He had to be.
Is he in my top 10? Of course. Yeah.
Janoris Jenkins.
Jenkins, I had a number 9.
Right.
Reggie White, a lot of love for Reggie. Can we just bring back LT in his prime? Yeah. Let's do it. I got to go with the guy who my dad told me stories of growing up. It makes my hair stand up when I talk about him, apparently. A man whose name sounds like it should be bleeped by the, what is it, the SEC?
The FCC.
FCC. Oh, I got football in the brain. I'm going Dick Butkus.
Oh, my God. Second.
Dick Butkus was, you could even put him number 1, but I'll put LT. People saying Eli Apple. My boy Jackson, Eli Apple. You guys are such jackasses. Eric Flowers doesn't even make sense. That joke makes no sense, Danny, because he played offense. All right, if you want to make a joke, pick any corner the Giants have ever drafted since Jason Sehorn. Okay.
I said Janoris Jenkins.
Tunnel. Yeah, this guy's got some good. Guy's got legit stuff here. Guy's got old school. I'm gonna read you my top 10 list of defensive players ever, and that's gonna be it, just to indulge me.
Just because you want to let it known.
Just because this is me time. I've been talking to you guys. This is
please
me time.
enlighten me on the Will. Please enlighten me on the Will Presti top 10 defensive players of all time.
All right, no problem. This is official list.
It's not fictional. This is an actual list.
I said this is the official list.
Oh, official. Okay.
All right. Here we go. Number 1, Lawrence Taylor.
Correct.
Number 2, Dick Butkus.
Just because of the name.
Hear it. Number 3, Reggie White. Number 4, Deacon Jones. Mm-hmm. Who knows how many sacks he had? They weren't keeping track of sacks. Even LT's first 2 years, they weren't keeping track of sacks. You can't slap people on the head anymore because Deacon Jones was concussing dudes like a bear and making sacks, okay? Number 5, Mean Joe Green. Number 6, Ronnie Lott. Number 7, Ray Lewis. Number 8, Bruce Smith. Number 9, Deion Sanders. Number 10, Bob Lilly. Now, in fairness, I'm not going back like past the 50s. I'm kind of going merger era. So there are plenty of guys back there. But I always felt Deion was a little overrated because of the whole prime time, because of the kick returns, because of the dances and all this stuff. He's very good, but I think people have him like top 5. Nah, I don't even know if he's top 10, but whatever. That's my list. Did you know Giants could have drafted? This is the list. What did I say? This is the list we've all been waiting for, or was he making it wisecrack? We all waited for. I think it was a pretty good list. They didn't calculate tackles either. Is that legit, or are you joking around? No, Ed Reed. Nah, the NFL existed before 2000. People don't realize this. The NFL existed a long time ago. Derek Thomas, great player. Do a post-1990s list. Come on, exactly. Okay, I feel you. Just take the guys. My post-1990s list is take the guys that played post-1990 from that list and then keep them on the list.
Reggie White.
I'll do it next week. I'll do it next. You know who's really damn good is Rod Woodson better than Deion? You could be absolutely right. Tunnel, very, very good. Troy Polamalu is a damn good football player, man. His highlight tape, honestly, is one of the craziest highlight tapes. There's certain guys whose highlight tapes are just
post 1990. Would Darrelle Revis make your team?
Nah. Darrelle Revis would make my team post 2004. Revis Island. The guy was good for 3 years. He held the jersey every single time. I don't want to hear it. All right.
Oh my god.
The hell out of here. It's a Giants podcast. Kevin Green, very good. I had someone try to fight me. Kevin Green's like one of the top 5 defensive players of all time. No.
Oh no, he's not.
No. John Randall in his prime was better than Kevin Green in his prime.
Chris,
if I had to add other guys to that, I would talk about guys like Slater and Woodson and some of the great D-backs from the 70s. Guys like Jack Lambert and Ray Nitschke. I mean, there's so many guys you guys. If you don't know how old you guys are, you gotta go back in time before Ed Reed, man. Ed Reed was very, very good. Junior Seau, Junior Seal. You mean Seau? He was a beast, absolutely. Anyway, that was my little list. Let me know what list you want me to. Let me know what list you don't give a crap if I do next week, and I'll do it for you again.
Why don't we mix it up?
Chase Young, Josh Allen.
Why don't we do
Giants could have had Reggie White, everyone's saying. I wasn't really reading about that, but I wasn't reading the comments, but that's kind of wild. All right, we got to wrap this up.
Yeah.
All right, so what we got from this? Giants need offensive tackle. Giants need defensive end.
What did we learn?
We want tackle. We want pass rusher. We don't want to overpay. People are saying no about Clowney. So they want Yannick, but it's not going to happen. Right. So if you don't want them to draft a D-end at 4, and you don't want them to take one of those D-ends in the draft, in a free agency, but you want a D-end, where is this magical D-end coming from, people? Right?
It doesn't.
It's Baun at 36. The Baun identity is what I call him. And remember, Yannick causes
panic. All right, everyone. All right. Thank you for tuning in.
And Gettleman causes panic.
Oh my God.
Will, you got to give us draft reaction that tops James and Marco's reaction from last year. Oh, my draft reaction from last year was just probably 15 minutes of me like this.
We did it. We did the draft live last year. Well, we've done it.
I want to do it again this year. My boy Jack, I told him he can come on the program. So he gets really red-faced. He says he wants to kill people. It's really fun.
Maybe we should do a party. Maybe we'll do a draft party. Just have someone.
It's more like a funeral with Gettleman drafting.
Maybe.
I did a mock draft the other day. I put it up on Twitter. People were loving it. I just did 7 rounds of defensive tackles for Gettleman. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate it. We'll take all the compliments. Thanks, guys. Good job, Thomas. I love these people, man. You always tell me the comments can get ugly. I love it, right? We don't know everything. We know a lot. We're passionate fans.
Yeah.
We're tired. I got work tomorrow like the rest of you guys. But E. York, I appreciate it. Follow me on Twitter, at Will Presty. Check out this guy. You're just at Bleedbigblue, right? You know, the personal.
Yeah, they probably already followed me as well.
Gettleman was the coach of my high school. Is that true? I wish he was still the coach at high school.
Thomas, right? Relax. Gettleman was the coach at my high school. Oh, I gotta probe this. What high school is that?
Trade Barkley for a second. These guys are funny.
Trade Jones for a second.
Trade JP for a guy who knows what he's talking about. JP, I love you. My favorite movie is Jurassic Park, so I see your initials and I automatically like you subconsciously. All right, so we got some legitimate people coming in next week. I got to pretend I know what I'm actually talking about. You got real sports writers coming in.
Yeah.
I don't know. We could bring guests.
You could bring in anyone you want.
I got all sorts of guests.
Mark Messier wants
Willie Randolph. Who do I know? Giants that I know. I know a couple. I know a Giant or two on the fringe. But will they have to sit on the couch next to me, or do I just bring them in? I don't know how this works.
I could cam them in. We could add a third, a fourth.
Cam them in. Trade the team. All right, this guy's getting. Now, that's the first good idea you've had all day. We'll see. What's your goal for wins? What do you want to see this year?
I'd be happy if
8,
7.
Is that too high?
I said 6. I said 6 yesterday.
What did they get this year? 4?
Yeah. Last year they got 5.
Let's go 7.5 as the over/under. We'll talk about that a little bit next time. I gotta go to bed. I gotta wake up and do my homework on Jedrick Wills for the fans.
All right, everyone. That's it. Wrapping this up. You got the sweet hour for us. And
thanks, guys. Hey, honestly, guys, really appreciate the comments. We appreciate you hanging out with us here. Otherwise, we're just 2 idiots babbling. This way, feel like we're actually doing something. And yeah, it's really cool. So, what is happening here? Someone email me some good hair product ideas or something, because I don't know what's going on there. 10 wins. Boy, these people are drinking. I love you all, though. I love the optimism. I love it.
It's going to be 10 wins.
It's going to be 10 wins. All right, guys.
All right, everyone. Peace out.
Later. Hello. We're still on the air.
We are trying to get off.
Hey, guys. It's Will and Marco.
Welcome to the after show.
This is the after party where we rip on all
the wrap up.
So what'd you think about how 10 minutes ago I had my list of best defensive players?
I disagreed with 7 out of the 10. Ending stream.
You guys are laughing on us because we're still on the air. You guys are laughing because we don't know how to get off the friggin' air. Marco, what's happening right now? Just throw your computer, unplug your damn computer.
It's saying ending stream. I'm waiting for it to end.
Ending stream. It's like, what do we take Flomax first? The stream just keeps going? What's going on here? Anybody know what Flomax is? I think it's when you take it so you can urinate. Now we're talking urine. Give us a thumbs up if you can still hear us, people.
This is the wrap-up show.
First thumbs up is you're going to win a free text message from Mark Messier from me.
Oh, I'll give a thumb up for that.
No. Thumb up something. So to thumb up, we talked about stream 110% over. That can't be true because you just wrote to us. That guy's hysterical. Marco, what's happening here? We need computer folks.
We need
and software.
Is the stream 110% over? No, it's still up.
How do you not know if we're still going?
Is the stream 110% over?
I'm just gonna take a nap. I'm just gonna walk away. I'm just gonna take a nap.
All right, I'm gonna close the laptop down. How
Guys,
about
if you want these eyes, my girlfriend makes these. They're like these like Greek evil eye things, but it sounds bad, but it's good. They protect you or whatever. She makes a whole bunch of them, so you can buy these. Reach out if you want. This one's got some black in it. I think we're over because no one's commenting anymore. This has become the home shopping network.
Please reach out to Will Presley about evil eyes.
Do it.
All right. Closing it down. Peace out, everyone.
We're still on, I have a feeling. But if not,